If you're a musician or someone who loves music and you want to get into home recording, you may be asking yourself, is it too late? Can I start from scratch and make great recordings? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about that. Let's go. Hi, my name is Pete and welcome to Studio Live today, where my goal is to help you create, record and release your best music. So if that sounds like the kind of thing you're into, consider subscribing. Now, I get a lot of questions from folks who are brand new to music recording, brand new to producing and creating and recording and releasing their own music. And they say things like this: I'm 47, 53, 62, 71. Is it too late for me? Can I get into home recording? How can I start from scratch and be expected to produce great recordings? Well, there's a few things that I want to talk about to do with this topic, and that's what we're going to dive into now. Now, whether you've watched hundreds of my videos or none, it'll come as no surprise that my view is that it is never too late to start your music creation journey. So whether you are just starting out, you're learning an instrument, you're learning what MIDI is, you're learning about recording and digital recording and audio interfaces, or even if you're returning, and a lot of folks that talk to me are coming back to music after having a hiatus. I did it. I spent nearly 20 years not playing and recording and writing and releasing music. So I know what it's like to be in that position where you're coming back and you feel like you've been left behind. But don't worry, there is a lot of resources, and the good news is it has never been a better time to start home recording. Now, that's a big statement, yeah, never been a better time. Why is that? Well, here's the reason why. The gear that we have these days is better quality and cheaper than it has ever been before. When I started out in digital recording, in particular, the quality of the gear was not there. If you recorded on your home PC or your iPad or, heaven forbid, your iPhone, they didn't exist back then anyway, but if they did exist, then they weren't going to get the same quality of recording. And the problem was there was the professional studios up here, and then there was home recording all the way down here. The gap has closed. Whether you like it or not, the gap has definitely closed. And now the gear that we can buy for our home studio is really good quality, and you can get exceptionally good recordings in your own home with just entry-level home recording gear. So that is point number one. Point number two is that we live in the internet and social media age. So not only this channel right here and these videos that you may watch on Studio Live today, but there are hundreds, thousands, probably tens of thousands of different channels and resources, YouTube channels, websites, forums that you can tap into and get information about home recording. So think about that. When you were doing this stuff way back in the day, you needed to what? Buy a book and learn how to record, get a reel-to-reel tape recorder, or in the 80s or 90s, a 4-track tape machine. You'd have to learn how to do that. If you were lucky, you'd have a friend or someone that was in a band that could show you how to use it or that could help you with your recording techniques. Now, you can go to an absolute plethora of resources here online and get as much help as you want. And it's two-way too. You can send me an email. You can put comments down here in the comment section. You can actually engage with people that can help you create and record and release your best music. Yes, I say it a lot. We live in the future. Right here, right now. It is the best time to be alive and the best time to be creating music in your home studio. So that's all good in theory, right? Nice, motivational, fluffy speech. What about real talk, Pete? What do I actually do to actually get started if I've never recorded before? Well, you know what? Pretty much everyone I know, regardless of age, has a smartphone. So your smartphone is your first entry into recording. Every smartphone has a camera and has a voice recorder. So you can set up your camera, you can start recording yourself playing music. The other thing that smartphones have, and if you're on iOS, if you've got an iPhone or an iPad, you have GarageBand. If you're on Android, you've got BandLab, you've got other apps that you can use. So there are music creation apps right here on your phone that you've probably already got. Don't want to use your phone? Think that's a little bit too, weird to record music on your phone? If you have a PC or a Mac, and again, you don't need to have the top of the line, top end PC or Mac. Pretty much any PC or Mac is going to be able to run a range of free software, and there's some links down in the description to some of the best free software and resources for that free software. So over on the PC, you can use Reaper, you can use BandLab, Cakewalk BandLab, you can use Audacity. On the Mac, GarageBand, of course, you can use that. that. You can also use Reaper on Mac. On your iPhone or iPad, you've got GarageBand. On Android, there are options as well. So there is no shortage of ways to actually record and to get into recording. And again, we've got this infinite number of resources that can help you learn how to record when you're starting out. But what about gear, you might be asking? What about the audio interfaces? What about the headphones? What about the microphones? What about all of the things that I need to actually start home recording? Well, here's the beauty part, right? You don't need it all straight away. You can actually start leveling up your gear. You don't need to go out and buy everything and kit yourself out with a $5,000 home studio tomorrow. You can start by grabbing a microphone, an audio interface, a pair of headphones. You can do this one by one. Monitor speakers can come later. The software you use, you can upgrade later. So there's really a whole heap of options, and you don't have to do it all at once. You can take it step by step. And in fact, I recommend taking it step by step. Sure, I've got a bunch of affiliate links, and you can go to my gear guide at studiolivetoday.com/gear. I would love you to do that. But what I'm not going to recommend is that you go out and buy a bunch of gear before you've even worked out how to actually record. So you need to, in my view, do the learning first, learn how to use what you have, learn how to get the best recordings from the gear that you do have right now, and then as you progress, you can start leveling up your gear. Now, yes, it's not going to be overnight, but it's also not going to take you years and years to do this because, again, depending how much time and effort you put into it, it's really just about repetition and continuing to create, record, and release music that is going to get you to the next level. Now, before we finish up here, I want to mention one more thing, and that is the importance of creating, recording, and releasing your best music. I say it at the start of pretty much every video, and the reason that I have releasing, or you could call it sharing, at the end of that statement is that it is so important to share your music with other people. To get feedback on your music is the best way to improve. So whether it's your recording techniques, your mixing techniques, your mastering techniques, any of that is only going to grow and develop if you get feedback, because then you can improve what you're not doing well and keep doing what you are doing well. So that is why I'm always passionate about telling folks to create, record, release, because when you release and you share, you're going to get that feedback. Now, you don't have to share it publicly. You don't have to share with family and friends. Find an online forum, find a community, or you know what? Email me. I get plenty of folks who email me saying, Pete, I don't want to share this with my family and friends. I don't want to share this with the world. Can you give me some pointers? Can you give me some tips? So yes, I might regret this afterwards, but my email address is down in the description. If you want to share your first ever song, share it with me. I might not have hours and hours to give you in-depth review, but I'll definitely take a listen to anything you send to me and give you a few points back to help get you along the track towards creating, recording, and releasing your best music. So are you ready to start? If you need a little bit more motivation, there are 2 more videos linked down below. And if you want to keep up to date and keep motivated with all of the videos here on the channel, click or tap on the Studio Live Today icon. Thanks for watching. Keep creating. I'll see you next time.